Okay, I just got this in the mail from a friend who was at Adepticon, and I wanted to get an unboxing and just a quick model review up there. So let's open it up, see what we got here. One thing I was curious about, yeah, they don't actually mention anything on here about the missing Hobgrot in his rules. Yeah, because he doesn't have the Hobgrot, but he exists as the Swampcalla Shaman, so I don't know if you can legally field him without a Hobgrot, or if you have to proxy or use your regular Hobgrot with him. Sorry, the Potgrot. Um, it also looks like we have a choice of building him either with a little dagger or creepy hand. So let's see here. One teeny tiny little sprue. Oh yeah. Oh, and he is push to fit, which is unfortunate. And you can see that on the basing right there, his feet are built into the base. Not a super huge fan of that. I prefer to do my own basing, but it also looks really easy to trim that off if I wanted to just do my own base. I'll put them together, push fit, see what he looks like, and kind of make a judgment call on to whether or not I want to build him with or without that little bit there. I'm going pretty basic on my basing for the Kruleboyz. Just your basic muddy terrain and maybe slap a little Nurgle rot on there. But yeah, let me put this together and come back. Alright, so I got him all cleaned up. And I figured because he's pushed to fit, maybe I will try and push to fit him on camera. One thing I will say, when I clean little mold lines and whatnot and sprue areas, I usually do the backside and scrape, but there's so many little, like that little spike right there. I mean, I had to be really careful when cleaning the mold lines. I missed a little bit right there. But I mean, that's one thing I've noticed with a lot of these push to fit models is they have, especially Kruleboyz in general, is they have so many little spikies on them that the usual way of kind of putting your thumb up against part of it and then dragging the backside of the blade ends up breaking as much as it, fixes or cleans. But this guy looks super easy, so you take these two parts and we're just kind of bloop, getting that right in there. And then it looks like we want to take his body and get that right in there. Is that right? Where's your little belly button guy? Come on. You can do it. Oh, I moved it out of the way. Belly. I hate push fits. I should have cleaned this, just cut it all off. Don't break. Oof, God. That really felt like it wanted to break something there, but it didn't. Okay, and then looks like the back piece is going to be that and that. God, they really... I almost always just clip these and glue them because I don't like the push to fit. Everything just feels like I'm going to be smashing it together. Where's your little butt piece go? See, and I want to be pushing on this part right here when I'm putting that in. And I'm sure that that's just going to snap right off if I do that. It's not even remotely what I want to be doing for this. Yeah, you know what, push to fit? You can push to piss off. Alright, we're going to clip it and glue it. I hate push to fit. Alright, and here he is, all built. I did just push his head in, because it might be easier to paint his face with that removed, and plucked those in. But I just glued his body. When I'm trying to push it in, I want to be holding right here, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's starting to get white from me touching that too much, so I don't want to break that. So here he is. He's good. I don't know what's on his head, some sort of stone perhaps, like a seer stone I think, and I thought this was a hand. It's just bones like hooked onto a tree for his staff. Oop. Let's see here though. In the interest of all thing orc shaman, let's do a history of. We have this little greenskin guy who's no longer anything. His massive head compared to, and hands compared to the rest of his body, but you know, tiny little base, 32 compared to this guy. I like the direction. You know, I appreciate the older stuff, but I like how this is going now. And if we're going to look at all of the wizards and shamans of the orc world, we'll compare him to the current Death Mask champion here. Probably see a lot of this guy on the table lately. So they fit pretty well together. Again, he's an older model, so he's got kind of a bit bigger proportions. More heroic, I guess is the term, than this more true scale kind of effect going on here. So if we... Oh, and here's the... Let's see. The Weird Knob Shaman. You start to see a little bit more realistic scale. I mean, still huge hands and a pretty big face, but getting more in line. Obviously, the Iron Jaws are bigger than these guys, than the Kruleboyz, so he's going to be bigger anyway. But you know, they look good together. If the Weird Knob wasn't just terrible, we'd probably see him more. And he's not a shaman, but he might as well be in the same conversation. You gotta love the war chanter. Yeah, he's a cool little dude. And let's see, who else do we have over here for comparisons of the orcish world? Oh, well, let's see. Again, another older model. More out of proportion, but, you know, our boys still kind of hang in there. Still, proportions are a little bit more out of whack with the newer Iron Jaws models. But, you know, he's a teeny bit taller, I think. And then, of course, the standard dude, you know, they're on the same size base. They both have the weird hand thing going on. But their scale, you know, like their hands are much more proportional to each other. They definitely look like they fit in the same army, same scale. The one thing that, you know, I think the rules need to clarify in terms of, are you actually getting can you get away with just running this guy without having this little 25mm turd following you around for no reason? He doesn't have rules as far as I can tell. He's just there to... I guess he was just probably a model they wanted to use, but he doesn't even have any rules, unlike the little stab grot dude. So, one thing I did see in a forum that someone was talking about was, and I happen to have an extra one, is from the Gabapalooza. I mean, that's not too terrible, and, you know, you look at his little feetsies, he could easily fit on a 25. I mean, yes, there's a big size difference in terms of, in terms of how tall this is. This is probably, well, maybe only a half an inch taller actually, but it's got the little pot there. It's very similar. And this guy, like I said, he could easily fit on a 25 mil. I mean, this guy's kind of pushing his 25 anyway. But I think that's probably what I would do, because I have an extra one of these. I might, I'm looking at it. I was thinking I might want to maybe tweak him a little and kit bash him a bit, but geez, he looks better for a pot grot than this guy. The only potential thing I could think of is maybe because I have a couple extra of these guys. I was looking at how good the Swampcalla Shaman are, so I picked up 3 of them, and now with this guy I have 4, but only 3 of these guys. I could maybe cut like this guy's head off and see if it fits there or not. I don't know. I honestly just think this guy would work great as a nice little pot grot to go with him. I mean, he's got something on his head too. You know, they both have stuff to talk about here. What's weighing down their thoughts, their head. Yeah, I think that that might be what I do. Oh, and let's see here, because we love them. Good little swiggy squig, and and for people who are more familiar with the Golden Boys, same size as a, just about same body size as the Stormcast. His staff goes above her little plumage, but her staff goes up there. But they fit nicely together. And obviously the Stormcast have always had a bit more, or at least the more recent waves have had a bit better proportions. So I think that they really fit well in. There's a real good cohesion there. I almost forgot about this dude. That's another guy that, that we've officially shown everything that's kind of shaman-y in the Orruk world. Again, resin, kind of weird proportions, more cartoony. But yeah, so I will absolutely be priming this dude up, painting him, and in any list that sees just one Swampcalla, I'll probably be putting him, just because not everyone gets to see him. Yeah, he looks fun. I don't know what's up with Swampcallas needing to have big backpacks, but I can't tell if those look like layered shells or some sort of maybe swampy bark or mushroom. He's got his little dingle dangles on there, and then again, this little thing hanging down is just some sort of. It looks a little bit like the scare shields right there. It's hard to see, but I'll look at the pictures a little bit to see over here if it gets close. Yeah, it looks like they're painting that as a scare shield, so I'll probably try to get him painted like that. I like how this is showing like some sort of power effect, like a glowiness, and then you can see his little head there, like he's got the third eye, which is kind of reminiscent of what you think of as Gobsprak being able to talk to Kragnos. These guys are a lot more mystical than the rest of the orcs. And I said something earlier about this potentially being a different weapon layout. It's not. I totally missed this part here. I forgot that that's how the new sheets were showing it, is they were highlighting each weapon. The interesting thing is, that's the staff, and that's the little stabber, which the pot grot is supposed to have in the other duo. So I'm wondering if, I feel like he's got to be legal without the pot grot, because that's how he comes. And I'm guessing that this is the replacement of the pot grot, is that little tiny dagger. But yeah, I hadn't seen a video of this before, so I figured, since a buddy sent it over to me, I'd throw a quick video up just for folks that I love watching unboxings, and if there's not one out there, I want to make one, even though it's just a real quick slap together. He's a cool dude, though. It's gonna be fun painting, get the little tiny details in there. I'm not a great painter, though, so don't expect me to do a follow-up with him painted. Anyway, yeah. Wow.